along the mighty
Great Miami River.
Great Miami River. Is that the one that caught on fire one time?
No, that's the Cuyahoga River.
Cuyahoga, okay. Cleveland, yeah, I knew. Things are a little serious when your river catches on fire.
Real talk, though.
Coming to you more alive than dead from the Greenville Beer Exchange.
Now look what you've done.
Or GBX, as we like to call it, on Lawrence Street in terrific downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of Big John in 5. That's where I get my good buddy here, Big John Richards, to pick a beer from one of GBX's 23 taps or hundreds of bottles and cans that they have in the store up front. We sniff it, we sip it, we kibitz about it. John tells us a little bit about the brewery and sometimes a little bit about the history of brewing. Joining us today, we have my fraternity brother of 50 plus years, E. Randall Porter from Dayton, Ohio, along the mighty
Great Miami River.
Great Miami River. Is that the one that caught on fire one time?
No, that's the Cuyahoga River.
Cuyahoga, okay. Cleveland, yeah, I knew. Things are a little serious when your river catches on fire.
Real talk, though.
Yeah. So, but anyway, here we are at GBX, and we are going to sip a beer that I have no clue what it is. Big John, what are we doing? Because I certainly don't know what I'm doing. Big John, what are we doing?
First, I have to talk about that song that opens. It was a real song, obviously, but it's the song that opens Major League, the movie.
You're right.
And it's I can't for the life of me remember who sung it, but it's "Burn On, Big River." Talk about the Cuyahoga River catching fire in the middle of Cleveland.
Yep.
So because they're the Indians, they sing that "Burn On, Big River" song about about Cleveland at the beginning of the movie. It's freaking brilliant. I love that movie so much.
But now they're the Guardians. So.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, have they been renamed too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they dropped the Indians. They're the Guardians
they're the Cleveland
now.
Guardians.
They did at least as bad, if not worse, than whoever named the Washington team.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Like, you can do whatever you want with your team name. I have any real rooting interest in any of those teams, except that some years from now, I'm going to have to explain who the Cleveland Indians were to people who watch Major League with me at the start of the baseball season.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad.
Me too. But you know what makes me happy?
That's what we call
Drinking beer.
That's a hook.
That's a segue right there.
Right back on the rails.
Got it back on the.
So we're doing a special request from Mr. Ports here. We were talking Christmas beer, got started talking Belgian beer, and he mentioned he'd never had St. Bernardus.
Never
we said, which one of these should we try? I said, well, the Abt 12. And who knows, we may be going long again. We're going long! Because I can talk for days about St. Bernardus. I got a chance to go over to Belgium, and shortly before I went over to Belgium, I got to meet one of the owners of St. Bernardus at a beer dinner across the street over at Trapdoor, and he's invited me over to the brewery and wanted me to come check out their new tap room, which is gorgeous. Their brewery is right outside of Poppering, Belgium, which is the city that is in the center of the big hop growing region that is that corner of Belgium. So it supplies almost all of its hops. Almost all the hops that are grown there go to Belgian breweries for various and sundry reasons. And they're so big into their hops that the city of Poppering, when you walk around, every other sidewalk has big squares in it. Every other square in their sidewalk has a big bronze hop flower stuck in the center of it. They're proud of their hops. There's a hop museum in the middle of Poppering, which I didn't get to see because it was January and it was closed because hops don't grow in January, I guess. These are the hazards of doing things when I do things, which is when other people don't do things. But I did get a chance to visit St. Bernardus, and they're situated on a hill because there's nothing, it's mostly flat land out there, but you look over and see France, which is only like a mile away. There's a huge church sitting on a hill right there.
When you look over there, was everybody in France going like this?
I didn't see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I still love you.
But John,
So anyway.
John likes everybody. That's-
let's open this bit.
You're getting antsy. The natives are getting restless over here. So, St. Bernardus.
Buddy. This is Buddy getting,
Getting
Buddy's-
pressed
this is
into
the
service.
First time Buddy's been used today.
yes.
So St. Bernardus is right next to, or almost in Popering. And so I'm going to take this opportunity to do a little Belgian pouring class, because when you're pouring Belgian beer, especially when you're pouring Belgian beer, you need to really pour it straight down into the center of the glass.
Straight down the middle.
And it needs to open up. It's got to push that CO2 out, or it's not going to taste right. Your aromatics are in there. It's got to push all that out. That big fluffy head helps hold those aromatics in and gives you a chance. Oh, Russ getting the good part.
I get some stuff to chew.
Yes, that's where all the magic is. So beer, and I do this thing with people when they dispute this with me about how to pour a beer, and it's crazy how different a beer is if you let it open up and let it push all those aromatics out. So I'll talk about this beer, and then I'll talk some more while you guys, after we've tasted it, because I know you guys want to not be so parched. So this is Abt 12, and ABT is sort of an abbreviation, or maybe it's just the way it's spelled sometimes for the word Abbot. So for a long time, I ended up calling this Abt 12, which I don't think is necessarily wrong, but it's just most everybody, and even at the brewery, they call it Abt 12. It sounds like you're saying app, like AP, but it's Abt 12. And the numbers, so you'll see it 6 and 8, 12. The triple, I don't think has a number on it, but in any Belgian beer, the higher you go in a number, it's measuring the original gravity of the beer. So the higher the number goes, the more alcohol there's going to be in your beer. So this is a big beer. Abt 12 is
I want Apt 37.
you might can find it. If you do, I want in.
Okay. Break that down.
Yeah. If 12 is the original gravity and 10% is the final gravity, which it is, then there's going to be some unfermented sugar in there. That's what that means for what it's worth. But these are the big Grand Cru or Quad beers, or the biggest of the dark German Belgian beers are going to be this kind of thing. Dark colored, dates, figs, and raisins. Kind of toffee sweet, kind of caramel sugar sweet, very, very smooth and rich. And most of the time, you can't taste any alcohol at all in a beer like this, and they're magic. And this is one of the best, and I'm going to get to why after we all taste it.
Okay.
And that's what we call a teaser.
Text them slowly.
Just the nose on that is so good. It smells like a fruit factory.
What's the ABV on this?
10%.
See, I get no alcohol at all.
No,
I don't either.
None.
No.
It's
Zero.
beautiful.
You would
And
have
it's-
no idea.
you know,
No idea.
These are recipes that they've been brewing the same beer for 200, 300 years sometimes. So you get good at it.
That's amazing.
And these big beers, before I went to Belgium, I was pretty well known for I would drink. I can drink a Belgian beer, enjoy a Belgian beer, know it for what it is, love it for what it is. But then I got to go back and drink an American beer. I just had to always end up back in America. And having had Belgian beer in Belgium, it's different now. I don't know what changed, but I just appreciate these beers more than I ever did having been there. I don't know how to explain that. That it's just.
Well, okay, just one little snippet from my past. When I graduated from college, or not high school, I went to Europe. And I went to a Heineken brewery
Yeah.
in 1969 and drank Heineken on tap.
It was probably delicious
And it
back
was
then.
delicious. But then I come back here and drink it out of a bottle, and it's always skunky.
Yep.
You know, so there's a difference. Yeah. It was fresh, and here it's been in a bottle for
Right.
God knows how long. But to me, Heineken here in this country is always skunky.
Yeah.
But over there it was delicious. So.
Nice. Well, I went to Amsterdam and didn't have a Heineken for whatever reason, because I'm weird.
John, it's a little known fact. John is the hot dog eating champion of Greenville, South Carolina.
That's correct. That's
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh
From
yeah.
2021. No, 22. 21. I don't remember. It was 1 or 2 years ago. I'm certainly not the current one. But I didn't enter the next contest after the one I won.
The best part of the story is the only reason he entered the contest is because the line was too long at the hot dog stand. And if he entered the contest, he got free hot dogs and didn't have to stand in line.
That is fact. I stood in line 3 times for hot dogs at the stadium. This was July the 4th. I stood in line 3 times for hot dogs. And all 3 times I was like, dude, the line hasn't moved. I'm not going anywhere. This is ridiculous. I'm not getting a hot dog. And I was like feeling bad about myself. I'm not going to get a hot dog on July the 4th. And then this voice from heaven said, we're still looking for 2 more participants for our hot dog eating contest. Please go to customer service if you'd like to enter. I was like, worst case scenario, I get a hot dog. But then another little known fact about me is that I absolutely, fervently hate to lose. So then I started making plans about how I could actually compete and properly, make a showing at this hot dog contest, and then managed to win. So, because I hate to lose.
And how did that have to? What did that have to do with the beer that we?
I'm weird. It's because
But it's just it was a John anecdote.
the way I went to Amsterdam and didn't have a Heineken.
Right. Okay.
If they'd had a schnitzel eating contest,
It would have been a different story. All right, so before we wrap this up, I do have one more fun thing to say, and it's not a short thing. Sorry, Russ.
never mind, keep going.
Hey, see, you're just making it worse.
Keep
I
going.
was going to let you.
Keep going.
So, in the 40s, the 1940s, the Veslieren Monastery, which is also in Popering, effectively, but around the other side of Popering from St. Bernardus, when they started becoming a bigger, more sought-after brewery than they could produce, they contracted with a group of people who founded the St. Bernardus Brewery. And St. Bernardus then opened up a production brewery on the other side of town that brewed all of the production beer for the public for Veslieren all the way up into the 90s. And in the 90s, the Trappist Federation.
They have a federation.
That's I'm going with Federation.
It's called Trappist International.
So,
Local
there's a
15.
There's a real one. So
Yeah, they're unionized.
you see, there's a little medallion that exists on the beer label that lets you know if it's an authentic Trappist beer or not. And in order to be an authentic Trappist beer, it has to be brewed on a monastery by the monks using ingredients that they have farmed or cultivated, or and they don't cultivate like their own hops, but they do cultivate the land and etc. And there can be no profit. So anything that from all the sales, all the profit from sales either has to go back into the functionality of the monastery or be donated to charities in the neighborhoods surrounding the monastery. So when this became a deal, and in order to do that,
Do you remember what this is a story about?
Vestvlieteren had to take their brewing back into the monastery. So St. Bernardus was going to be left out in the cold to a certain degree, and so they negotiated with Vestvlieteren, and the end result is they got to keep all the recipes and the yeast. So today, Vestvlieteren 12 is the rarest beer in the world, the most sought after beer in the world.
Wow.
The beer that you can only get it on your birthday at the brewery, and they check your driver's license and your license plate, and they will give you 2 cases.
Sounds like a bucket list for us.
I know, yeah.
St. Bernardus Abt 12 is the same beer.
Oh, really?
Same recipe, same yeast strain, brewed 3 miles away. You are drinking Vestvlieteren 12.
It's not even my birthday.
It's not even your birthday, Rust.
Wow, that is great.
Cheers to that.
So damn lucky. See you next time.